Imagine Japan in 1865, a land of samurai ruled by powerful lords where ancient traditions and strict codes of honor shape every aspect of life. The samurai with their swords and armor are not just warriors but the very symbol of Japanese society. For over 2 centuries, Japan has remained isolated from the outside world, its borders tightly closed to foreign influence, its people living in a world apart. Its technology is old, its society rigid, and the shogun governs from Edo, maintaining order through a delicate balance of power and tradition. But in just a few decades, everything changes. Fast forward to 1905, the samurai have vanished, swept away by the tides of history, replaced by a modern army and navy equipped with steel and gunpowder. Tokyo is now a bustling capital, alive with energy and ambition. Factories rise where rice fields once stood, and railways crisscross the land, connecting distant regions like never before. Japan has become a global empire, defeating China and even Russia, astonishing the world with its military might and determination. This breathtaking transformation, from feudal isolation to modern power, happened in just 40 years, a blink in the span of history. It was a frantic revolution. Modernize or be colonized. The pressure was immense, and the stakes could not have been higher. Japan's leaders watched as Western empires carved up Asia, realizing that survival meant learning from the West, adapting quickly and acting decisively. The story of Japan's rise is about a nation's desperate struggle to survive, to protect its independence, and to redefine itself in a rapidly changing world. From swords to dreadnoughts, Japan's extraordinary leap would not only transform its own destiny, but also shape the course of the 20th century for the entire world. For more than 2 centuries, Japan's Sakoku policy kept the world out and its people in, enforcing a strict isolation that shaped every aspect of Japanese society. Foreign influence was tightly controlled, and the country developed its own unique culture, technology, and traditions, largely untouched by the outside world. Only the Dutch were allowed to trade at Nagasaki, confined to the tiny artificial island of Dejima. All other foreign contact was strictly forbidden, and violators faced severe punishment. But in 1853, everything changed. Commodore Perry's black ships arrived, steam-powered, bristling with cannons, a dramatic show of Western power that stunned the Japanese. The Shogunate, unprepared for such force, was powerless to resist American demands to open Japan's ports to trade and diplomacy. This humiliation shattered confidence in the shogun's rule, sparking outrage and debate among samurai, officials, and commoners alike. Samurai and lords rallied around a powerful new slogan, "Revere the Emperor, expel the barbarians," calling for the restoration of imperial authority and the rejection of foreign domination. Civil war erupted across the land. After fierce battles and shifting alliances, the emperor's forces triumphed over the old order. In 1868, the shogunate fell, and Emperor Meiji was restored to power, marking the end of centuries of samurai rule. The new leaders quickly realized that to truly expel the barbarians, they had to learn from them, adopting Western science, technology, and systems to strengthen Japan. The fall of the shogunate marked not just a new government, but the beginning of a sweeping revolution that would transform every part of Japanese life. In the years that followed, Japan would remake itself from the ground up, emerging as a modern nation ready to stand alongside the world's great powers. With the emperor restored, Japan's leaders launched the Meiji Restoration, an all-out drive to modernize. They abolished feudal domains, centralized power, and stripped the samurai of their privileges. Education became compulsory for all, blending science and loyalty to the emperor. Students went abroad, foreign experts came to Japan, the government built factories, railways, and shipyards, then sold them to private entrepreneurs, creating powerful zaibatsu. The army was rebuilt on German lines, the navy on Britain's. Conscription replaced samurai armies, all young men now served. Japan's new military was a tool for both defense and power projection. In just a generation, Japan became an industrial powerhouse. The nation was ready to stand with the West. The Meiji era wasn't blind westernization, it was selective adaptation. Japanese spirit, Western technology became the motto. Western science and industry were embraced, but Japanese values and traditions remained central. Suits and kimonos, brick buildings and wooden houses, beef and rice, old and new coexisted. The 1889 Constitution created a parliament, but real power stayed with the emperor and his advisors. Shinto beliefs sanctified the modern state, fueling intense nationalism. In arts and ideas, Japan blended Western and traditional forms, forging a unique identity. This careful synthesis let Japan modernize rapidly without losing its soul. It was the secret to Japan's astonishing transformation. By the 1890s, Japan's modern military was ready for war. Decades of rapid modernization and reform had transformed the nation from a feudal society into a formidable power, equipped with Western technology and a new sense of national purpose. In 1894, Japan crushed China in the First Sino-Japanese War, gaining Taiwan and new prestige. This victory shocked the world, signaling that the balance of power in East Asia was shifting. For the first time, a non-Western nation had decisively defeated a major Asian empire. Next, Japan clashed with Russia over control of Korea and Manchuria, regions rich in resources and strategic value. The world watched anxiously as two empires prepared for war. In 1904, Japan launched a surprise attack on the Russian fleet at Port Arthur, defying Western expectations and demonstrating its military prowess. Against all odds, Japan won stunning victories, culminating in the destruction of Russia's fleet at Tsushima in 1905. The world was stunned as the seemingly invincible Russian navy was shattered by a rising Asian power. For the first time in modern history, an Asian power had defeated a major European empire. Diplomats and leaders across the globe took notice, and Japan's status soared. The world was shocked. Japan was now a global force. Its victories inspired awe, fear, and admiration, forever altering perceptions of power in the modern era. But this rise came at a cost: war, militarism, and growing authoritarianism. The price of rapid progress was paid in blood and in the tightening grip of the military on society. Japan's success inspired colonized peoples across Asia, fueling dreams of independence. Yet it also set Japan on a path of imperial expansion, with ambitions that would shape the century to come. In just 40 years, Japan had remade itself, an astonishing feat of national will and determination. The transformation was so rapid, it seemed almost miraculous to outside observers. But could such a transformation happen without losing something essential along the way? As Japan looked to the future, it faced the challenge of balancing tradition with the demands of a new era.